Good morning and welcome to Sheldopedia. I'm Sheldon Betteridge here. On today's show, it's up to Internet what to expect in the multi-party later debate in some point next week. And underground reality of a second wave in England. After we played. Puerto Rico's on by Rip Mommy on Sheldopedia on Era FM. This is virtually erased by Korean by Light in 2006, but he covered it this way to make it a hit.
Three little birds sat on my window, and they told me I don't need to worry. Summer came like cinnamon, so sweet. Little girls double dutch on the concrete. Maybe sometimes we got it wrong, but it's alright. The more things seem to change, the more they stay the same. Don't you hesitate, girl, put your records on. Tell me your favorite song. You go ahead, let your head down. Sapphire and faded jeans, I hope you get your dreams. Just go ahead, let your head down. You're gonna find yourself somewhere, somehow. Blue as the sky, sunburnt and lonely, sipping tea in the bar by the roadside. Don't you let those other boys fool you. Gotta love that afro hairdo. Maybe sometime we feel afraid, but it's alright. Why stay the same? More that they seem to change. Don't you think it's strange? Girl, put your records on. Tell me your favorite song. You go ahead, let your head down. Sapphire and faded jeans, I hope you get your dreams. Just go ahead, let your head down. You're gonna find yourself somewhere, somehow. Just more than I could take. Pity for pity's sake. Some nights kept me awake. I thought that I was stronger. When you're gonna realize that you don't even have to try any longer. Do what you want to, girl, put your records on. Tell me your favorite song. There's no
That was Puerto Rico's on by Red Mommy on Sheldopedia on Era FM. President Bangladesh's response to the cover of the night of its round. Now many scientists fear it's about to do it again. The virus is on the rise once more in the UK, which recorded almost 40,000 COVID-19 deaths, with confirmed daily infections recorded a head record high on Thursday, though deaths remain below the April peak. The search brought new research of daily life proceed of a grim winter of mounting deaths and the feeling of deja vu. We didn't react quick enough in March, so epidemiologist Sheldon, the member of government scientific advisory committee, told the BBC, "I think we learned a mistake. We've been unfortunately about to repeat it." The UK is no longer seeing a second wave of COVID-19. European countries including France, Spain and the Netherlands are struggling to suppress rising outbreaks while limiting economic damage. But Britain's pandemic response has revealed a roster of weaknesses, including unwieldy government structures, fraying public health system, poor communication by the government and reluctance to learn from other countries. We are asked why countries such reputed health intelligence have been so incapable of COVID-19 pandemic. Gus Donald, former head of Britain's Civil Services, on Friday. He said British politicians had overpromised and underdelivered like many other countries apart from Asian nature by past outbreaks of SARS and MERS coronavirus failures. Britain was unprepared for the pandemic. Britain quickly approved the test for COVID-19 but lacked the layer of capacity to process the test. That means attempts to locate, test, isolate and contacts of every infected person who found it. By the time government ordered a nationwide lockdown on March 23rd, the virus was out of control. Supplies of protective equipment to hospitals and news hosts soon ran dangerously short. Luca Wairarapa, advisor to the Italian governor on COVID-19, told Committee of British Lawmakers this week that he was shocked at the slow UK response while Italy was living a collective tragedy. I didn't predict what was happening in Italy, not really preserve something could happen in the UK, he said. Criticized the government's insistence of going their own way, epitomized and separated by UK's departure from the European Union in January, but hobbled its response. The UK tried spend months trying to develop a concentrated smartphone app from scratch before abandoning and adopting an Apple and Google developers it already used in other countries. The app was launched in England on Thursday, 4 months late. There were some successes. Britain's state-funded healthcare system coped as hospitals went overrun but achieved a high cost of postponing routine surgeries, appointments and screening for cancer and other diseases. Like some other countries, the UK released elderly patients from hospitals back to the nursing homes without testing for the virus. Thousands died as a result. Some of the respite as the tide of cases receded also brought a push to revive the better economy. Johnson continued the government urged workers to return to the offices to prevent citizens becoming ghost towns and tempted people back to restaurants with discounts. It worked economically, but it may also help the virus to return. Gavin Johnson's back to normal boosters and federal convention when he refused calls it this week and announced people could turn to work at home after all. This came alongside numerous stretches including a 10 p.m. curfew in bars and restaurants, expanded face mask requirements. Criticised the government was slow to advise why use of face masks just as it's slow to require quarantines for people arriving from abroad. But the key failure, me believe, is in the coronavirus testing system. President Rebel expected testing capacity of 25,000 a day and set up a test and trace system with thousands of staff when millions of UK children went to back to school first night, when some came home with coughs and fevers. Demand for tests surged around 1 million a day. Many people found they could not book a test, which seemed hundreds of miles away. I don't think anybody was expected a real sizable increase in demand that we've seen over the last few weeks. Dita Haru, who heads the program, told Woolmakers this week although many scientists and officials had predicted exactly that. Headed by Hayden, a former telecoms executive married to a conservative lawmaker, and the test and trace program is largely run by private companies, including outsourcing firm Cerso, using a call center model to reach contacts and tell them to self-isolate. The citizens only reach about 60% of infected people's contacts, and research suggests many people who ask to isolate don't comply. The whole thing is hopelessly inefficient, said Martin McKee, Professor of European Public Health at the London School of Hygiene and Tropical Medicine, who said good contact tracing is like detective work, as if decided to put visual detectives Miss Marple or Father Brown in a hotel room with a single telephone line and told them to solve a murder. He told the Associated Press, some of Britain's troubles aren't unique. Dutch local health providers are struggling to keep up with demand for contact tracing, and some hard-hit regions infected people are being asked to inform their own contacts. And Madrid cite one of Europe's fastest growing outbreaks. It can take more than a week to get test results. In France, new cases are top 13,000 a day, and the virus is resurgent in nursing homes. And a paradox exception is Italy. The first recent case was hammered up by virus, where strict 10-week lockdown largely comprised of masks. And Russia tamed the outbreak. Even now, Italy is comprised of wearing masks and social distancing is strong, with cases average around 1,500 a day. In Britain, criticism of Johnson's leadership is growing. Johnson is all too aware of the danger of a coronavirus. It put him to intensive care in April, but he doesn't instinctively elicit fear politics like broad strokes, simple slogans, and optimistic message. In March, Johnson said Britain could send the virus peaking in 12 weeks earlier than last month. He hoped things will be back to normal by Christmas. This week he acknowledged that new restrictions will be in place for 6 months. He said he was deeply spiritually reluctant to make any of his impositions, but many scientists believe stronger measures will inevitably be needed, especially if the test and trace system doesn't improve. Meanwhile, polls suggest support for the government's handle of the crisis is failing, and varieties while compliance is fraying. Unease is growing among formerly royal allies of the Prime Minister. The Spectator, a conservative news magazine that Johnson used to edit, summarized the past 6 months as disorder, debacle, rebellion, U-turn, and confusion. Where's Boris? The magazine asked on cover. Next song, it is it is Holly by Justin Bieber featuring Chance for Wairarapa.
I hear a lot about sinners. Don't think that I'll be a saint, but I might go down to the river. 'Cause the way that the sky opens up when we touch it, it's making me say that the way you hold me, hold me, hold me, hold me, hold me, feels so holy, 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 holy. Oh God, running to the altar like a track star. Can't wait another second. 'Cause the way you hold me, hold me, hold me, hold me, hold me, feels so holy. I don't do well with the drama, and no, I can't way that we love in the night gave me life, baby, I can't explain it. The way you hold me, hold me, hold me, hold me, hold me, feel so holy, 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 holy. Oh God, running to the altar like a track star, can't wait another second. Cause the way you hold me, hold me, hold me, hold me, hold me, feel so holy. They say we're too young and the pimps and the players say don't go crushing. Wise men say fools rushing, but I don't know. They say we're too young and the pimps and the players say don't go crushing. Wise men say fools are rushing, but I don't know.
Chance, the rapper.
The first step pleases the Father. Might be the hardest to take, but when you come out of the water, I'm a believer, my heart is fleshy. Life is short with a temper, like Joe Pesci. They always come and sing your praises, your name is catchy, but they don't see you how I see you, Parlay and Desi. Cross tween, Hesse, hit the jet speed. When they get messy, go lefty, like Lionel Messi. Let's take a trip and get the Vespas, or rent a jet ski. I know the spots that got the best weed, we going next week. I wanna honor you. Rise groom, I'm my father's child. I know when the son takes the first step, the father's proud. If you make it to the water, he'll part the clouds. I know he made you a snack like Oscar Proud. Suffer it to be, so now gotta clean it up. Formalize the union and communion he could trust. I know I ain't leaving you like I know he ain't leaving us. I know we believe in God and I know God believes in us.
The way you hold me, hold me, hold me, hold me, hold me, feel so holy, 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 holy. Oh God, running to the altar like a track star, can't wait another second. Oh God, running to the altar like a track star, can't wait another second. Oh God, running to the altar like a track star, can't wait another second. Cause the way you hold me, hold me, hold me, hold me, feel so holy.
Remember for New Zealand minor party debate will be on. I have to look for date up. That's where the party debate will take place on 8th October at 7 p.m. on TVNZ1. This debate will be moderated by Jessica Match Mackay. Because minor party debate is the Green, the Act, and New Zealand First, and TVNZ changed the mind that minor party could appear despite not being a parliament for 3 years from its initial plan to not be included. And the young photo story about in association with the University of Auckland takes place on 28th of September. This debate will be moderated by Jack Tame and streamed via onenews.co.nz and One News social channels. And the final leaders debate is on 15th October at 7 p.m. on TVNZ1. This debate will also be moderated by Jessica Match Mackay. This is from One News, Brandon Poll. The Labour could still govern alone based on higher amount enough of members and a speculator who hasn't heard the news for some while.
Here at One News, all eyes on our poll. The first since the second COVID wave and since the new election date was announced. And it shows the minor parties picking up support from Labour, but Jacinda Ardern can still govern alone. National's stagnating, while ACT will be popping the champagne. David Seymour may soon have friends in Parliament. We begin with political editor Jessica Much-Mackay and the numbers.
This is the first poll of the 2020 election campaign. Let's look at how it compares to our last one 7 weeks ago. Labour is on 48, dropping 5. National's on 31, down 1. ACT is sitting on 7. That's up to its best result in 17 years. The Greens are up 1, sitting on 6. New Zealand First is steady on 2. It would not be in Parliament with these numbers. Other parties are picking up support too. The New Conservatives are on 2, and TOP, the Māori Party, and Advance New Zealand all on 1. So let's see how that translates to seats in Parliament now. Labour can go it alone with 62 red seats, but the Greens could add in 8. National's 41 MPs and ACT's 9 MPs aren't enough to form a government. Now the preferred Prime Minister numbers. Check these out. Jacinda Ardern is still dominating on 54. Judith Collins is on 18, a drop of 2, and David Seymour and Winston Peters both get 2. So that's how the numbers fall with 25 days to go.
The parties are all trying to pack in a lot over the next few weeks.
You're not really big on LinkedIn anymore.
I'm not as good on LinkedIn as you. I'm there, but because I've always seen it as a place that you look for jobs.
Yeah. Well, we've been looking
I'm trying not to be in that market.
And on these numbers, she won't need to polish her CV.
I'm pleased with the result. For us, though, regardless, we will not be complacent.
Pleased because despite Labour's dip, her party could still govern alone. And she's riding high personally. It doesn't take long on the ground to see that.
I really love you.
The best Prime Minister in the world. Thank you for looking after our country.
She's holding firm despite a second wave of COVID-19. In an unusual move, the National leader refused to be interviewed for the poll today, her deputy stepping in.
She's very involved in making sure that she's well prepped for your television station's debate this evening.
Judith Collins became leader 2 months ago and started strong, but both the party and her personal ratings have stagnated.
Her reception out there among the public is pretty good, and we're very happy with that.
I guess if you can see from these numbers that ultimately not too much has changed there.
The poll ran from Thursday until last night. It takes into account National's big tax promises and some of the talk show-style campaign launch on Sunday, as well as the $4 billion mistake in National's economic plans.
We would have liked to have moved, obviously, but it takes time for all these things to bed in. Anyone that does polling will tell you that things like that do take a couple of weeks for people to even become as aware as you would like.
Hello, how are you?
With 14% of the people we polled still deciding who to vote for, there's still time to impress.
Very nice.
All right, Jess is with us now. A lot to play for, Jess. What do you read into these numbers?
Well, at any other time, a 5 percentage point drop for Labour would be a big deal. But that 48 number is still massive. And that comes despite the fact that we've had the second wave of COVID-19. It seems that people are still feeling positive about Labour and about Jacinda Ardern. With National, the numbers aren't shifting. And that's despite National throwing big tax cuts into the campaign. And they've been out really selling their leader Judith Collins and even allowing the audience and the public to see a slightly lighter side. But the numbers that are shifting are with some of the minor parties.
The video is from TVNZ. The next song I normally play the house and metal 70s and the 80s, but today I'm going very differently because I never play any of those 2000 songs on my show, and I'm gonna play it to you today. It is Manita by Nelly Furtado on Sheldopedia on Arrow FM.
Take it back.
There was many by Minerally Furtado on Sheldopedia on Arrow FM. The song from my album Loose, which departed from usual Natado's early career of folk pop songs, expanded more of dance R&B and hip hop and even house music. So, gonna tell you for top 10 hardest COVID-19 countries by territory, a weekly update for you, and I'm gonna tell you if a grim milestone is happening in America at the moment. But if you have not heard the news about the numbers, you're gonna feel sad and ashamed of it. Go to number 10 South Africa with 660,049 cases with 60,283 deaths. Number 9 Argentina is on the table with 608,253 cases and 40,766 deaths. And thankfully 576 have recovered compared to 596 have recovered in South Africa. Number 8 Spain with 704,209 cases with 1,118 deaths. But don't remember how many people have been recovered. Number 7 Mexico with 702,049 new cases with 4,949 deaths and 510,037 have recovered. Number 6 Peru with 0,695 cases with 3,870 deaths with 606,409 people have recovered. Number 4 goes to Colombia with 0,983 cases with 24,924 deaths with 7,961 people have recovered. Number 4 Russia with 1,128,936 cases with 90,948 deaths and 929,829 have recovered. Number 3 Brazil with 4,659,099 cases with 159,883 deaths with 4,023,189 have recovered. Number 2 is India closing on 6 million with 5,752,518 cases with 91,149 deaths and 4,674,987 have recovered. And finally, for Grimhouse, I had no one wants to hear, even in America. In the United States, passed 7 million cases with 7,058,060 new cases. And also, Grim milestone deaths with death already surpassed 200,000 this week. Now currently standing at 205,833 deaths. And 3,084,797 have recovered, while our total is currently at 32,608,225, with 979,862 deaths and 22,059,084 have recovered. Whereas the UK has 460,363 new cases with 400,902 deaths. That has gone up a bit. We told you earlier from the second wave. And New Zealand's total so far is 1,041 new cases with 25 deaths. Thankfully, 381 people have recovered. Next song I will be playing for is it is track from 1982. It is I Love Rock and Roll.
By the record machine, I knew he must have been about 17. He was going strong, playing my favorite song, and I could tell it wouldn't be long that he was with me, yeah me. And I could tell it wouldn't be long that he was with me, yeah me. Singing I love rock and roll, so another time in the jukebox, baby. Got up and asked for his name. That don't matter, he said, 'cause it's all the same. So can I take you home where we can be alone? The next we were moving on, he was with me, yeah me. Next we were moving on, he was with me, yeah me. Singing I love rock and roll, so another time in the jukebox, baby. I love rock and roll, so take your time and dance with me. Ow! Take you home where we can be alone. Next we were moving on, he was with me, yeah me. And we'll be moving on and singing that same old song, yeah with me. Singing I love rock and roll, so put another dime in the jukebox, baby. I love rock and roll, so come and take your time and dance with me. I love rock and roll, so put another dime in the jukebox, baby. I love rock and roll, so come and take your time and dance with me. I love rock and roll, so put another dime in the jukebox, baby. I love rock and roll, so come and take your time and dance with me. I love rock and roll, so put another dime in the jukebox, baby. I love rock and roll, so come and take your time and dance with me. I love rock and roll, so put another dime in the jukebox, baby. I love rock and roll, so come and take your time and dance with me.
That was I Love Rock and Roll by Jonesy and the Black Hearts on Sheldopedia on RFM. The world's biggest arms importing countries in 2018. The world's biggest 10 arms importing country receives arms worth of $15 billion from overseas in 2018. ArmyTechnology.com ranks the top 10 arms importing countries based on Stockholm International Peace Research Institute estimates of the value of arms transferred in 2018. Ranking of the 10 largest importers of arms: number 10, Pakistan; number 9, Qatar; number 8, United Arab Emirates, what is called UAE; number 7, South Korea; number 6, Algeria; number 5, Egypt; number 4, India; number 3, China; number 2, Australia; and number 1 is Saudi Arabia. Pakistan worth of $777 million. Qatar's worth of $806 million. United Arab Emirates worth of $1.1 billion. Number 7 South Korea with 1.31 billion. Number 6 Algeria with 1.32 billion. Number 5 Egypt with 1.8 billion. Number 4 India with 1.53 billion. Number 3 China 1.6 billion. Number 2 Australia with 1.57 billion, and Saudi Arabia is first with 3.81 billion. All these money are all in US dollars. And Australia's surprise ranking at the second spot. Maybe it should increase funding based on, well, can't remember what's it called. Surprised that America wasn't in the top 10 list. So it wouldn't have been surprising. Next song is it is it is a 1995 track from I Am Blessed by Eternal.
Here in the silence, I say a prayer. Though I've never seen you, somehow I know you're there. You're in the faces of the people that I meet. You're as solid as the earth beneath my feet. So if I should complain that all I have is not enough, forgive me, I've been given so much. And I am blessed every time I look into my face.
That was I'm blessed by a 10-1 Sheldopedia on Error EV. My good power Barrett. That sound probably seems to Diane Foster and David Foster. Pop work art frame. Primarily targeted at American R&B singers. Next song will be a New Zealand one. After I do the vet of a day, which normally I do. The vet of the day is Fidel Castro led Cuba for 5 decades and was the world's third longest serving head of state after Britain's Queen Elizabeth and the King of Thailand. Next song final song they will have finished on the Kiwi note, which is it is it is maybe by Op Shop.
So what's this big secret you can't tell me? I don't want a piece of this. Haven't we all had enough? Enough for one day. I don't wanna argue with you. You've got me shivering in my spine. If everything turned out as we had said, we wouldn't have to sit through any of this. Maybe I would be a better fit in my own skin. I'm not gonna try to divide or ignore you into pieces of a puzzle that never seem to fit. I'm not playing hangman with you. I've run out of letters, let alone words. You got me shivering in my spine. If everything turned out as we had said, we wouldn't have to sit here talking like this.
This was made by Upshop on Sheldopedia on Arrow FM. Also features a Jason Kirsten with other Upshop member actually started the band in 1996, which won the TVNZ Town Quest Showcase. And also was born with more hits with One Day and Manners and Other Allergies. That's it for Sheldopedia. I hope you have a good time. I'll see you next Friday. Bye.